Hi everybody. I have the best light right now, so maybe I'll complete this video. Um we What messages are you guys getting right now? The weird thing about um it's like a weird silence before something goes down. But then I'm looking at all the sometimes I wonder if there's really false messages. Like I always feel like you heard the honk, right? I feel like there's a deceiver in our community. Several. Um, I tried to express on a video commentary before that I was concerned that someone who, if you could go back in the Babylon text, there was Baal, and there was I forgot the king's name. Oh, come to me. King of Babylon. You had Baal and you had, oh, I forget the other one. And then there was I should have like wrote all this down before I press record. I'm sorry. I'm having one of those days. Um but then you have people who try to say that, the creator and God of this world, we come from that. And so if you guys feel like there's an intuitive resistance, trust it. There's someone, I don't want to say his name because I don't want him after me, but there is a guy who's running around and trying to teach people that, you know, he's trying to infiltrate a satanic, I'm just being forward. He's trying to basically teach people to make the devil your God. And to really understand, there are many players in this whole beginning. I want people to understand there is an archangel that's also a deceiver as well. And this is a hard thing for me to come to terms with, why our Father would allow an archangel to change names and change forms to allow people to manipulate themselves. Because I don't know, it's kind of weird how I'm trying to go with this. But so you have Archangel Uriel or Phaniel. His non-wings form is Phaniel, Phaniel. And then as the angel, the overseer of Earth, whatever you call it, he's Uriel. He is the communication between heaven and earth. He's the messenger. When Noah sent out the raven and the dove, there was a messenger in between. So if you can translate that, but then Noah got instructions from the God of that Old Testament, which was not our Heavenly Father, it was the serpent. The serpent had ways to talk to people's heads and talk them into making them in the narcissistic demigod ego that they were. So Noah took instructions from Enki. Enki was in charge of, the land, the ocean, the earth, the land, where you had Enlil, who was in charge of the air. So if you can kind of translate the players, that if you had an angel kicked out of heaven in the beginning of however that happened, that storyline, the light bearer forsake, you have Lucifer, you have the serpent, you have Enki, and you have Uriel, all as one character, shape-shifting over time and using the wisdom part of everyone's mind, which is, when you're logical. And I could say I was a victim of it too, here and there. There was a part where I thought I was Mr. Superpower because all these things were in my head. And sometimes even things were manipulating me to act and do certain things. And I'm like, that's not how I act. That's not me. Those aren't my words. This isn't what I want to do. But it happens. Um, if you guys are in communication with another source, stop and pause. You shouldn't be talking back and forth with something, even if it's telling you it's a benevolent being. We're not supposed to communicate with, there is only one. It's funny how everything ties back to the word. And the word only says, there's only one way to the Father. And there's a test. There's a test. And I think we're all put here in death as a test to become alive again. There's also an interesting video Jeffrey Daltrey posted today, and I like to shout him out because he was questioning, are we dead? Did we die in 2012? The Mayan calendar ended. What happened? Did the earth implode? Did we snap into some physical conscious dream state where we continued where that realm stopped? I'm watching this light over here flick on and off as I'm giving this video, not to be weird, but yeah, it's quite fascinating, like how it seems as though like our as below that we live in is keeping us from advancing our mind to this concept that there are more things out there. There's more expansion to our mind. There's more expansion to this reality than we know. Like I was just talking to someone today about there's an epidemic, a flu epidemic that all of a sudden had started itself about 10 miles from where I am, and I guess it's gonna spread around. How can a mysterious food poisoning virus just emerge out of nowhere? At the same time, there was that epidemic of something where there had to be quarantine in New York at the JFK airport. They quarantined the bus airline. You guys have to see this while I'm talking. I don't know if it's a censor, but it's just funny. Like I'm giving this message, and I always ask for confirmation, and I'm just watching this light. It'll just blink, blink, and go off. But anyways, yeah. So that was going on in New York. Something's going on here by this airport. It was in the city of El Segundo, right off the coast. That light is changing colors. There goes the other one too. Holy macaroni. My life is crazy. I love it though. Like I have no fear in the weird. It just means that, there's another presence with me. And I always like to make a normalcy with that. That is, it's a beautiful, it always makes me tear up because sometimes I think, I kind of sometimes talk to myself like, Aaron, you're just not a perfect person. And sometimes I want to shut it off because it's not appropriate to share and inspire these people when I have my own struggles. And they're not bad struggles, but I struggle with like finances and being popular and my feelings and and also there's other things with my preferences of who I date and whatnot. And so it's like, how do you balance and manage all that? It's really hard, but I'm obedient to the gifts. That's all that really matters. I'm just really obedient to the gifts, and that's all I do. Like the outside's a garment, but the inside is it's unpenetratable, and that will never die. I was talking to someone too about this thing of the epidemic of this weird flu virus that is going around, where people are sick with the flu virus about a week or two at a time. So I'm taking Golden Seal Echinacea tonight. I am not wanting to get this flu bug. Nope. Something just doesn't seem right. And there's the mosquito outbreak that we mysteriously had when this weird fog-like cloudiness happened too. It just, there goes the beep. It just sucks like how we live in this, like, for lack of words, this effed up environment. It's just like, what happened to people just doing the right thing? Just do the right thing. If you know what's right and wrong, you know? And that's a hypocrisy to what I just said too. But at least I adhere to the messages and I'm obedient to my gift and the messages, and I listen to my father. Like if a parent says, you know, take out the trash, go take out the trash. If you're late from school, why were you late from school? You know, I'm sorry, you're grounded, but still you got to go take out the trash. So, I wanted to also share with everyone before I wrap this up about being mindful not to go back into the old third dimensional frequency. We are in fifth, if you didn't know, the fifth dimensional frequency right now. And the thing with like Colin Kaepernick, it will put you back into 3D, and it's hard to like vibrate out of those frequencies because you get bombarded. You can tell when you're shifting through frequencies when you have a lot of bad luck at one time. Like, let's say, you know, you're going somewhere, you forgot your ATM, you do a U-turn on the street to go back home, there's road construction. And then as soon as you go back home, like, you realize you're late for, you know, wherever you got to go. Then you get your ATM, you use your card, and it has been blocked. Fraud alert. So you know when you're shifting in between 5 and 3, when you're seeing things like that. This was actually a message that I received. But be careful. These news, that's just why I was happy that there's something positive about Kim Kardashian. I can't figure it out. But it made me smile today that she's actually going to Trump and she's talking about, the legal justice system and how it needs to be fixed. I'm very proud of her. However, whoever, you know, publicists or what, even if it's her own actions, but you know what's interesting was, when I can vibrate on someone's family, and it's not saying I'm a medium, but I do have a gift of sensing people. Rosa Parks did this with me. I shared in the last video. Harriet Tubman also. That's why I got mixed up in the last video. But also Kim Kardashian's father, Robert Kardashian. He wanted, I don't know if this will ever get to Kim, but it's not my business. But her father allows me to watch over Kendall. I have dream states where actually I'm overseeing her and she's praying. I see her wanting her family to be happy. She's actually the toughest one of her family. She doesn't break. And wait, Kendall is not, that's not Robert Kardashian's daughter, but there's still a channel between, it's almost like the most compassion, the most connected to their awakening is Kendall, and Robert's allowing me to see that of her to validate. But something's happening with Kim Kardashian. I know I just navigated right now, but what she's doing is continuing her father's legacy, and I think it's her awakening journey because she's using, it's weird because people could say, oh, Illuminati, blah 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 blah, but the thing about it is, you can play a game, but if you didn't sign a contract, you didn't tailor your soul to a contract, technically you're still free will, but you're using a system to X, Y, and Z. It's different when it's like a music artist where they're contracted for 5 albums, then they're stuck and that they have to do whatever is in that contract, and if they don't, consequences happen. And also too, there's it can be an expiration date. Aretha Franklin, Prince, Michael Jackson, like there's a contract. It might say, 50-year record deal, you die on March, allegedly. But when it comes to beep beep, when it comes to like Kim, there's just the thing that I can sense about her. There's something genuine about that, and there's a continuation of her father, who came back to this earth to finish something. So I think when you do things like that, you can cut a cord and you can get out. And once you're out of that whole weird system that they're in, I think you're free after. You build up your retirement, you build up your bank account, you know, you put in the children's trust accounts, and then you just say, I'm done. I don't want wash my hands. I don't want this anymore. But that's what happens when you marry Kanye, and he's way up there. I consider what Kanye has said about B.O.B. and himself. I can see where that relates to me in a way, where I can. It's sort of like there's a distinct connection to the Palladian system and Andromedans and the Arcadians, and there's one more I'm forgetting. The Syrians from Syria, the Sirius, the star system. Even in Brazil culture, they track back to 10,000 years before the Bible was created, and in their tradition, the old Duajai, it talks about we are in an inverse, or there's people in your life who are inverse relationships. They're not twins, and so there's intentional people here who put you in a reversal, and you got to figure out, am I forward or backwards? Like every relationship is that way. But anyways, really, really look for these big players, these characters. Go back in time to really understand what happened, and that can really help you understand what's going on right now. Like I kind of navigated, I started with one thing and ended up with a whole new extreme, but I have to let all this come out, because if I don't, it'll hinder me, and I have to get these messages out and complete it before I go back home and deal with something else. So thank you guys for putting up with a lot of my videos. I say some crazy stuff, but I always try to make sure it's current and that it has to do with your journeys too. I can sense people when they watch. I know it relates to everybody. So look out for those DNA changes. Look at your eyes, look at your hands. Start feeling how your bones are changing. You can feel the weight of your body. Like even for me, I checked, went to the doctor last week before a horrible situation happened. I was weighed in, I was 4 pounds less than I was a month ago, but my bone density feels very heavy. I walk like. Anyways, I wish you guys a really good night, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.